Time now to get into the news quite properly. And this morning we're joined by Dr. Joshua Zato, his political scientist. We're as well joined by Nanaya Osapon, his Deputy General Secretary for the United Party. And also Kojopoku, he's Executive Director, Institute for Energy Security, and member of the NPP Communications team as well. And we're joined as well by Rashid Tanku Computer, Chief Executive Officer for GIFEC and Deputy Director of Elections for the NDC. Gentlemen, thank you for making time for us this morning. How are you all doing?
We're doing well.
This is quite, this looks like a very good buffet. You go for a very good restaurant. There's very good meal on the table. Yeah?
You can make a pick.
I can make a pick. I definitely can make a pick.
Whatever your taste and your...
Okay. Okay.
Whatever it is, you can get one on this table.
Absolutely, I agree with you, Kujo. But before we get into
the champagne socialist.
Sorry?
Champagne socialist.
This man is married to two. He's married to two, one Muslim, one Christian. We'll get into that later.
Correct him.
Yeah, so he's
I'm just saying he's a campaign socialist.
He's a campaign socialist who's married to two.
With a gold watch.
With a gold watch.
That's what you do rehearse this.
No, just see him.
But he's a campaign socialist.
All campaign socialists.
The Social Democrats are supposed to have a certain discerning nature.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now,
this champagne socialist, like you
he's a Mercedes-Benz driving.
He's married to
champagne
drives a Mercedes-Benz
driving.
Look at his beautiful
champagne drinking, gold watch wearing socialist.
Well, I think that's Rashid. You're in there for trouble.
Rashid, I do not think even if it's a gold watch, it's up to $200,000, is it?
But it's a gold watch. $10.
Okay.
And at least you got it before you got into government.
Yes, because you also wearing a gold watch, right?
No, you should watch an interview I had with him last week. He says that his friend gifted him that watch.
Yes. It's a friend.
We'll probe that. We'll probe that friend.
Well,
you know NDC and gifts.
NDC. They're not supposed to receive any gift more than 20,000.
Joshua, this morning you're on to something. But anyway,
NDC and gifts.
so gentlemen,
everything good about NDC is a gift. Everything is a gift.
We want to finish before he activates the cameras.
Before we get into the other matters, there's a lot happening today.
You know what?
The lightwave conversation with the Ministry of Health, of course, and definitely even the sub or the beat that will be that the Cybersecurity Authority says that they're going to be probing what exactly the data that was collected was used for. But because we're mentioning the cybersecurity, it'll be a good time as well when we're dealing with that, talk about that draft bill that sought to regulate or, take care of speeches online. We'll look into that when we can. But before we get into that, have you seen that video?
Of the military man.
Of a purported military man as to whether
Something I really want to talk about.
Okay. Could you have you seen it? That's it on your screen. Just take a minute and watch it.
So embarrassing.
So this on your screen definitely looks like a pharmacy.
It is.
That looks like a woman who is about to purchase and a seller already. This gentleman walks in. And if you're not hearing the audio, for those of us who listened there, he seemed to have bought a medication at a certain price of 65 Ghana cedis, went and came back and said that it was sold at a wrong price, and the man would not have the patience for an explanation, assaulted the person who sold it, and assaulted the seller, the other buyer who was also who was also in the pharmacy.
Oh, you've not seen it? I saw it this dawn. This was the video that woke me up.
But who is he supposed to be?
He is buying.
The gentleman slapping the lady around.
He came back with medication.
Yes, I know, but
we don't even know who. We're told he's a military, but it's not confirmed.
And we are told that the pharmacy is around the
Burma Camp area.
And this the military should give us a full report.
But that's if he's a military.
That's if he's military.
If he's not, his face is showing. The police should get him. This gentleman shouldn't be taken to a court and be fined. No. He should not be given an option to pay a fine.
But why do you think an assault is a fine?
Although it's that most of the times they go
assault under criminal law would not be a fine unless the person wants to go under. Unless the person wants to go under torts, which I doubt.
Courts. Countless times, the first time, blah, blah, pay the person's hospital bills.
But this is serious battery, so...
No, this was an attempt to kill the girl. I mean, just look at the size of the man.
Yes. So
And this one should not be put to jail.
I
This is a person you pass a sentence on and donate him to the community.
Hey, for them to do what?
Every morning he wakes up in the morning, you give him a cutlery, what was it? A cutlass or a hoe. Then he begins to weed. Also, when we're kids, when you do if you put yourself in such an act in school, you write your name behind your back and you are on campus sweeping from one place to the other. That is what should be done to him. For years. Just look at him.
Oh, but has the police reacted?
Not yet. Not that we have seen.
The military has not denied.
The police has not. The police are very proactive in some of these.
Quite lately, they have.
Yes, they need to be.
So I'm sure with such thing on Joy, I'm hoping that and with Mr. Tanko here, I'm sure this thing will be dealt with.
He can activate somebody.
Yes,
No, definitely. The police on their own are very proactive. These.
Yeah, I mean, the National Security Bureau can use this.
No, but this is not even national security. Let the police do it. I think it's a police matter. The police will handle it. If he happens to be a military, the MPs, the military police will also get in and handle.
Initially, when I saw the video this done, I thought the lady was the attendant. Apparently, the lady is also a customer who has come. And you attack her unprovoked.
Yes.
No, from the video, the lady did not even say a word.
Look, let's give them the benefit. I think the police, let's give them some.
I think so too.
They have been very proactive in some of these, and I'm sure a letter will be out by midday. I'm sure the police would have apprehended him, and the right thing will be done. Look, and there's clear video evidence for court. You understand? So this is not really a long stretch. For him to, if a lawyer represents this man to plead not guilty, I'll be very surprised.
Then we would have lawyers doing that. And I always keep saying it. We would have lawyers who, because of money, would go. This is not because of the human rights whatsoever. This gentleman does not deserve a counsel. That gentleman does not deserve.
Well, in law, there's.
Hey, Jai, Professor Nabeyeno. There is nothing
called.
like
No,
you go and assault. I always before you comment.
Let him. Let's hear him.
Before he comments.
Let's hear him.
Just put yourself in the shoes that would have been your wife or your sister or your mother.
I think it'll be fair for him to make his point. So we'll go on to other issues.
Now, I'm saying law. There's what we call res ipsa loquitur. The matter speaks for itself.
Yes.
So you should have listened to me. The matter speaks for itself.
I just wanted to draw the
No. You should have listened. So it means you were rather going to cause another problem. It speaks for itself. Yes. It's clear.
Yes.
This one there, you don't need to belabor it. It's a straightforward matter.
Yes. And it's what probably you guys will do a summary judgment.
Yes, you have seen that it's a clear assault. I mean, unprovoked and all that kind of thing. And that's what I was giving the dictum, which says the rest after loquitur. So when matter speaks for itself like that, it makes it easy to prosecute. And then, so the guy will be dealt with. Seriously, when I saw the thing, I couldn't look at it twice. Like, this is an animalistic behavior.
Yeah.
And should be condemned at all.
If he's a member of the
It's very
military,
bad, terribly bad. You can't do
if
this.
he's a military member or even a former military member, I'm sure one of the places they want to look at is something called PTSD.
Yeah, PTSD.
Post-traumatic. Because that behavior, I think that may be the only theory that may try to explain why he will behave like that. Not justify his actions, but the why he would do that. In PTSD, if he is an active military person, I'm sure the military hierarchy may look at that. Not to free him or this, but to see how probably they can help. Yes, and then if possible, to see how they can help others who might be suffering. Because if you look at the militaries, especially in the US, the big militaries, so they have a lot of them suffering PTSD and other things. Some of them undiagnosed. They carry it for a very long time. So I want to believe that if he is, then I think they may want to look at that because they will deal with it, but they also just want to study that to understand, is that what it is? And if possible, how many of them are still there in order to curtail future occurrences by some other people.
On your screen is the very raw footage.
No, it's very bad. It's very bad. This is
So I think that they may look at that. They may look at that. They may look at
terribly
that.
bad.
Even if it's any of the forces, if it's at any of the forces,
very bad.
They may want to look at PTSD.
It's very bad.
So
Seriously.
basically, he saw the lady trying to video him.
Yes, yes.
You see, no, you've come to meet a customer who is buying. Then you just want to bypass the person.
There might be something wrong with him. I don't think he's.
That's what I'm saying.
There might be
If
something
he
wrong.
is,
Oh, there's nothing wrong with him.
No, there should be.
This guy looks quite well,
Don't
though.
conclude. There might be
This guy
something
looks
wrong.
quite well,
There might be
honestly.
something wrong.
But
there are a lot of.
see,
He knows what he's doing.
MFA, you guys are running mental health. You are doing mental
knows what
health
he's
month, right?
Yeah.
This month.
Mental health?
Yes.
This month was
yes.
for cancers.
It's cancers, but there was. I mean, there was. Look, let's look. I'm saying.
This is not
You know something I've just, you know, something I've just noticed. He's
Yeah.
holding a goiter.
He's going to go.
That's what I'm saying. There might be something
He's
wrong with
No,
it.
but
holding a goiter.
he looks quite
He's holding a
intentional.
goiter.
An active person.
Yes,
It's a communication device. He's holding a goiter.
Okay.
He's holding a
That's
goiter.
then why
So
I'm
he's
saying
holding a
he's an
goiter.
active service
He's an active service personnel. He's holding a goiter.
That's what I'm saying.
What's
You see,
interesting is that there are others coming in. He's not attacking them. A person who is psychologically, not okay would attack anybody and everybody. But he seemed to have come for some two people.
He
and
knows
went
what he's doing.
specifically.
But I mean,
that's what I'm saying. There's something.
Anyway, okay. I hope that you take, Mr. Computer, I hope that you take a keen interest in this
Oh,
particular
no. In fact,
matter.
we've
After a
already
while, if
taken-
the police
in
doesn't
fact,
really...
we have already taken serious action on that matter. I don't have the power to announce what is going on.
Okay.
But I can tell you, action is being taken on this. Seriously, this time, the kind of governance system we are running in this country, our eyes on everything going on in the country, just to make sure that the country is safe, the people are at peace at each other, and then businesses will go on. Then we protect everybody. I mean, so we are on social media. This National Signal Bureau boss, Dr. Atabuate, he's on top of his job. He's monitoring closely what goes on platforms, social media, and all that. And then the military high command to also up their business. This is an exciting time to be a Ghanaian. And
It's good to have these
so
assurances
they are
from
monitoring
you.
it. I can assure you. Since last night, we've been talking, and a lot of things are going to be out. We won't allow this thing to glide. No, at all. No,
Okay.
it won't happen.
Okay.
It's not just
That-
about
they
talking.
will
Let us
will not allow
know
this.
the actions
Seriously.
that will be taken.
Some days
terribly
ago...
If you are able to bring videos of other persons
and
out,
you know the
this
beautiful
person
thing about
when being
Accra
dealt
now,
with, we
MFA,
should see it.
We know there are these Huawei cameras all around Accra. And from the exact location where he is, they can actually trace him.
How he went? Yes, where
They
he
can
went
trace.
to
They
and
can trace him. The
Atta
cameras
Boateng
can
has
actually
been-
follow him
Atta-
and trace him wherever he is. So if they know the location,
Atta will get
those
it
cameras.
easy.
This one right now in Accra is very easy to trace people because the
yeah.
Huawei cameras are all over. Fortunately
yeah.
for Accra, at least everywhere is covered, and they can trace him. And
They'll get him.
definitely
I said
pick him up.
since last night.
He came in the car.
You can
drove the
get
car.
up. Get away with this kind of animalistic behavior. We won't allow that.
Thank you for these assurances. Well, let's get on to, you recall that some weeks ago, some hospitals were, you recall that some weeks ago, some hospitals were facing some challenges with the NHIS portal because of the integration with the LIMS. It's moved on and on and on. Then yesterday, we eventually saw the Minister for Health addressing the public. I hope that you followed that conversation because I have the response from Lightwave as they've been clearing the air over digital health system. At least what we know now, the government's position is that the minister says the Ministry of Health has completed an audit into the project and referred the findings to the Attorney General for advice and further action. This suggests some possible outcomes over value for money, contracts, breaches, or some financial irregularities. Now, what's been happening is that the ministry itself has since gone ahead to provide a certain portal that will be performing nearly the same function that the Lightwave company was providing for you if you went to the hospital. They cited a few things that they said the company did. They took 70% of the contract sum, but didn't as well perform all of the agreement that was in there. Now, Lightwave has since responded. They said that Lightwave Healthcare Solutions, and you find this in the Daily Guide, owned by, is a Ghanaian company and has clarified circumstances leading to the widespread disruption in the digital health record system in hospitals across the country. In a media release to set the record straight about the certain untruth, the company said the digital health data does not sit outside the country, neither has the system been shut down by its staff. These were two accusations that the minister was on yesterday about. And every facility is autonomous and have their own server with patient data stored locally and only backed up remotely to the Ministry of Health. A centralized data repository sits at the ministry server room. These servers were previously hosted at the National Health Insurance Authority data center until the ministry built its new offices. It explained. Now, the company further highlighted that nobody shut down the system, clarifying that recently facility managers have disconnected connectivity to their facility to prevent lightwave staff from accessing and to provide the support. I'll start with you, Kojo.
I've been having snippets of the problem where there's a lot of disruption and I think people going cannot access. And the health information system, which normally is used by either health facilities or laboratories, has different modules that one basically contract to use. Sometimes the data for patient data is kept, some kept, but there's also always a centralized backup where the data is kept. I think it's just a matter of contractual disagreement, misunderstanding of what is going on, and also our brothers from the other side always looking at things suspicious when they've come in. And there's nothing wrong with doing audit and things you meet, because before you continue something, you might want to know whether that thing that you are continuing is in right stead. So I don't have a problem when people want to interrogate certain things further. But now it's becoming a thing where the minister is saying one thing and the company is also saying another. And I think the end of the day, it's the Ghanaian that is going through all the disruption and basically suffering the consequences. So what I will plead with all those involved, especially the company providing the service, because some of these services, today you are the one providing it, but you are not the only one that can provide it. Others are also looking for opportunity to provide that service. Whatever it is, yes, if you are to take your service away, within the interim, there will be disruption and there will be discomfort to patients. But in the long term, there will be a replacement for you, okay? One of the things I have said is that ministers should be able to be liable to judgment debts that they cause, or any money that the government have to pay in terms of their actions, they should face causing financial loss to the state. And I really hope there's a law for both sides, MPP and NDC. Because during the MPP time, there were ministers that took decisions that government lost money, and they've gone home, nothing. Government of Ghana, me and you, our taxpayers' money, is paying that. Today, there are NDC ministers who will take decisions that in the long term, government money, you and I, our taxpayer money, will go towards those payments. And they don't care, because to them, it's not money coming from their pockets. And I think there's time we put a stop to that. When a minister sits in an office and takes decisions, and he knows that if there is a judgment debt or there is a loss to the state in terms of a payment of breach of contract through an action of the minister, he will be liable down the line. People will be circumspect in taking the right decisions. Unless that people think that they can come in and I don't care, throw their weight about, abrogate whatever, because at the end of the day, it is not their personal money that pays the remedy or the consequence of that action. And it's happened, like I said, in the last 20 years. Yeah. If we to catalog how much money Ghana government has paid in terms of the reckless action of some ministers, and that has led to payment by the government, you'll be surprised how much the amount we come up with. So I think there should be a way so that it will make ministers a bit more careful in dealing with vendors and also finding a good solution. And for me, the vendor should also be a bit more compromising, because you are not the only one that provides this kind of service. You are in today. Yes, you can be kicked out at a cost, but finally somebody will replace you.
It's interesting that you mentioned that the vendor must be quite careful. I'll come to you, Mr. Computer or Thanko. So when we had an engagement with Lightwave, one of the managers over here in the studio, what they said is not far from what they have said here. So they said that it's not that they intentionally shut down the system. They acknowledged that the contract ended in December 2024. However, because of the nature of the service they were providing, they couldn't have just halted it. So they proceeded. They were providing the services up until quite recently, but they were unable to fund what goes into providing the services. So what they had to do was to withdraw some of their workers, which means that they have very small people, which they had to distribute to other facilities. So yes, some people may have struggled, some hospitals may have struggled, but it's not that they weren't turning on and off the service provision, as the minister has been saying. Thanko, I know that, well, this sits better with you. We as a people will be watching this morning. We either have to believe Lightwave or we believe the minister.
Before I go into the matter, I want to greet my colleagues here. In fact, I have to say good morning to you. And then to you and the good people of Bimbila and Wulensi. That's Nanuba district. I'll be inviting all of you to the place.
No problem.
Yes. You know what? If we hadn't won these 2024 elections, Ghana would have been a failed state.
Oh, my brother.
It would have been one of the failed states that you wouldn't have been proud of. I'm telling you, the winning of the 2024 election has sanitized a lot of things in this country. This Lightwave thing is terribly bad. It's one of the dirtiest things MPP did against the good people of Ghana.
How so?
Seriously, look at, didn't you hear what the minister said? The Minister of Health, let's give him thumbs up, Akando, doing a fantastic job. That contract was a rip-off, complete rip-off. You are supposed to network the whole country, health facilities. You are given a contract to do these services. Provide this service with an amount of money. And there are terms and references as to how to go about this thing.
I mean, while I would want to be clapping for a minister who has purportedly found somebody who is ripping us off, it's 9 months. A company, if this indeed is a rip-off, how am I supposed to clap for a minister or a ministry that is now identifying it after 9 months?
You see, when somebody uses eight years to rip you off, don't expect to use 9 months to uncover it. You need time.
Even with
this is
contracts?
criminal matter. You see, criminal issues not some 2-3 months matter. Sometimes criminal investigation can last even up to 20 years. You know what happened to this American musician, R. Kelly? He's now cooling off. Do you know how many years they followed him to get him? It took several years before they finally arrived that he was actually involved in that matter.
How can I impute that analogy here? Because this was contract. We can just reference the contract.
This one is a criminal matter. Somebody has doing a contract with Ghana, ripping us off for 8 damn good years. And then we came in and saw that no.
Guess
although
what?
the contract was ending
this started during the NDC era.
That is why we are saying the NDC was doing a pilot one. It wasn't a full contract. It was a pilot project that started in April 2016. It was a pilot. When they did the pilot and we saw that it was feasible and therefore we could go all swing and connect all this facility, we lost election. These people came and saw that, these are low-hanging fruits. These are areas we can get. You know them, when they came into office, within 2 months, they were involved in all manner of scandals. I don't know whether they bathed them in scandals during their era in UGC. No, I'm just not my face. It's a fact. Nana, I was quiet. Let me
don't say certain things. You can't say certain things that we.
What did you say?
What did I say?
They bath us in scandals. How can you say that?
I didn't know that scandals was a shower.
Yes, don't say that, my brother. We are all quiet listening to you, but don't say certain things.
I was
bath
quiet.
every people with scandals. Don't say that.
I was quiet.
No, I know, but don't say certain things, me patrol. I beg you. I'm just begging. Don't say certain
this morning, I don't know what happened.
No, but I'm just saying, it's not fair to me. No, seriously.
10 months.
It's not fair to everybody who is MP.
But Tanko, do you agree that
It's not fair to everybody MP that we bath us in scandal.
I'm saying that if a party is bedeviled with scandals from the foot to the head, how do you describe it? It's a simple thing. This is a party which bathed themselves in scandals from the onset, from 2017, January, as soon as they were sworn in, within a week, scandal started.
So this particular, what's the scoop?
Is Nana so uncomfortable with this?
No, some members.
Saying, not some members.
Qualified.
Even
some
at
members.
the presidency, they say when you sit by the president, you pay $200,000. What are you talking about? If a fish is going to rot, wouldn't it start from the head? Is that not what was happening?
Please go ahead.
So allow me. You know it. I didn't do it for you. Your people were doing it. At the place, even your own ministers and old party members were accusing the presidency of people before you walk to His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo office. You must pay $200,000 to somebody. Is that not how you started it? So we are saying that these people came in, started and said they want to roll out the whole thing. How many hospitals have been that way? Tell me how many. As we speak now, the minister was answering questions on it. When one of the MPs stood up and was talking about the payments and all that, the minister gave it back to you, your people. Look at what you did. How many hospitals did you network? How many? Where is the money? And I'm happy they use forensic audit to uncover all this matter. They will cover all the money.
Are you concerned about the data, the data of patients as well?
Of course, that is why we are saying that. Why should it be sitting somewhere? You know, the server is sitting somewhere in India.
It's not.
We are saying that.
The company says it's not.
Oh, you know these people and their defensive mechanism. When you push them, they'll come with all manner of stories. You see, the former minister is all over the place, talking and defending as if he's the managing director of that company. In fact, our eyes are on him. We are picking intelligence from all his ranting and talking to see where we can pursue him also to give us more information about that matter. No, seriously, Ghana
about this
better.
particular matter.
No, about this particular matter. Yes, Ghana deserves better. We have to protect you. You go to hospital, aren't you? All of us, we will go to hospital. Our data, and then somebody is sitting somewhere and monitoring our lifestyles and all that. How they help this. Is it fair? Is it good for us? When we are talking, Nana, your people, the thing they did to Ghana, I'm sure the next election shouldn't be thinking of contesting. Because the thing they have done, these things are so terrible that more are coming. In fact, more are coming. This is just tip of the iceberg.
Is it?
I'm telling you, more corrupt activities of them are coming. And we are going to let Ghanaians see these things. Okay. That is why they got 38%. Because the things they did, it was so bad. And I don't know why they still defend it. Matters of that matter.
I will come to...
I hope you give me time to rebut.
I hope you made your notes. And whilst you are rebutting, please note that they say the company is a Ghanaian-owned company. Especially because the minister indicated that the server was sitting somewhere in India. And they have also said that it wasn't sitting there. So, Dr. Zato.
Thank you very much. You know, this morning, we are being invited by my friend to clap for mediocrity.
How do you do
We are being invited by my friend to be happy that 9 months, 8 months, or 10 months into the system, a minister finally woke up from slumber to realize that, oh my God, our health records are in danger. The incompetence in the Ministry of Health is staggering. This is the same minister who told us, look, just look, if you want, you don't take it from me. Ask the nurses who are marching on the streets of Ghana saying this, and then we are told, oh, they were not captured in the budget. You are sitting there here saying that the minister is doing very well. The same minister who told tens and thousands of nurses that your whatever has not been captured in the budget when he knew about it. The same minister who is telling us today that he didn't know about it. And I'm happy you asked him that question. Sometimes when you see this and when you then see people trying to what? To sweet talk about these things, it's infuriating. For how long are you going to continue to blame the former government? When is there an expiry date? Shouldn't there be an expiry date? When is the economy? You are about to read a third budget.
I have a question for you, though. Does it look like a company would actually sit down and not fight back by the time the minister was giving this response yesterday?
They say you must understand certain things.
I'm asking this because of the 9 months into this, and these are contractual agreements, right? Yes. Whether good or bad, it's the government that went into the contract.
Let me tell you what, when the government came, the government has already cancelled contracts, haven't they? They've in fact, a minister went to Parliament to tell us that the 1D1F is now cancelled. Government has cancelled contracts. Why? If you came inside, and especially if something started in 2016, it means it has not traveled through government. It means before you came into power, you knew about this thing. The Minister of Health was a ranking member on the Health Committee in Parliament. Did he know about this? He didn't know about this. So I know he shouldn't come to Parliament for ratification, but at least you cannot be a ranking member of health and say that you didn't know that this thing existed. The point I'm making is that you came into office and you saw this thing. What did you do to alleviate the situation? If it was not good, why didn't you cancel it? If you had problems and opinion, and you are saying that the contract ended 2024, so it means that by the time you assume office, this contract was over. So what did you do? That is the question I'm asking. Any competent...
They had a few meetings, according to the company. There are a few
if you had a few meetings, then even if you wanted to put in a stopgap measure, you now put in a stopgap measure and say, look, our intention is to cancel this or not to renew it. But for the time being, this is what we are going to do to make sure that there are no disruptions. That's what an effective manager
The company says as of now, the government owes them $900,000.
Exactly. So even if you cannot pay that money, that's the point I'm making. What best stop time measures did you put in place for a transition? Even if you are cancelling it, you put in a transition because we are talking about sensitive health data of people. You put in a measure to say, okay, look, we've reviewed this thing, we don't like it. Our plan is to change it. In order to change it for the time being and considering the complications needed, considering that there are a lot of sensitive data needed, and considering that we have to deal with where to even store the data and other things, we are going to come up with a transition system to make sure that we take it back or we cancel it and keep all this safe and keep it done. You work out a deal with them. That is what competent managers do. That is how you handle such sensitive things. You don't wait until the people see. They are private sector, and I just want people to understand. Private sector is not for the
Let me pay attention to you a little bit. So, with this energy, not actually seeing how much the effort the minister has put into this, I know that we do not want to go back, but are you looking at, if whatever the minister is saying is true, are you looking at the quantum of money that has gone into contract sums that were not delivered properly? So, if everything he says is true.
So there are two things. If it is criminal, I'm looking at it. Is there a criminal activity? Arrest them, prosecute them.
Okay.
Has somebody caused financial loss to the state? Let the law take its own course. I always believe, look, we shouldn't lump everything together and make it look. There are different things. One, there's the management of the things. Two, there's the sensitivity of the data. Three, there's the science or the technology. And three, there's the law on financial costs or whatever it is. If these people have committed crimes, why are they still walking around free? Why are they not in jail? Why are we not prosecuting them? Do that. Use the coercive force of the state to do that. Two, then use the technological aspect of the state to also then deal with how to secure the information.
Okay.
And then three, then tell us that this is a transition period. My point is that when you are using this convoluted approach, now we don't even know which one we are talking about. Are we talking about where the data is saved? Are we talking about the crime or alleged crime?
Well, wait
are we talking about the ownership?
The cybersecurity
But that's the point. Why wait now when there's a disruption? Couldn't these things have been done? As a government, as a minister, you should learn to walk and talk. At the same time. Should we wait until when the data of Ghanaians is now in jeopardy, almost in jeopardy, for us to now be starting these knee-jerk approaches? My point is that there has to be an expiry date on when you can just, for everything you say, blame the former government, blame the former. We need an expiry date. If not, people are going to get away with incompetence by just blaming what happened or what didn't happen. Okay. That is not good for this country.
Okay, Naneo.
It's interesting. And I have always been concerned about how certain sensitive data of citizens are kept. These are very sensitive data. I always say that issues of health be treated as of a national security interest. I remember we had the same data issue with the Electoral Commission, where we had a private sector handling our electoral data. I have never been against private sector, but I have always been against a private sector or a private man handling sensitive data. If he wakes up and the wife gets him angry, or the husband gets her angry, he decides to shut down, it means that our health data and information is gone. And when government has delayed in any performance, payment of money, decide to go off, just as they said. They did not shut down, but in a way withdrew some services, and it affected our health service delivery. If what we heard is right and correct, it means that this data issue on trying to network our health facilities have been going on for more than 8 years. And it should tell you the amount of data these people have. Mefa, I do not know the terms of reference of the contract, but by now, Ghana Health Services should have been able to build capacity, to be able to handle this data properly.
Well, now they have they not? The ministry has announced it, so.
No, it just came up, I'm just saying. By now, they should be able to build capacity. I do not know, and I cannot attest to the level of the capacity they have to have had this policy announced. But, Emifa, what are the terms of reference of this contract? It should be something that we should know. How much went into it? What were the other alternatives we had? What has been the negotiations and the round table discussions from the time the issues started coming up and unfolding? This is data of Ghanaians who patronize our health facilities. I do not think that if you go to the Western world or those places that we want to learn from, they would, for a second, want to joke with this kind of data. I have read, when this thing came up, I read a literature somewhere which talked about a health facility in the US somewhere that was sued because accessing a patient's data delayed for a while, and because they did not have information, the woman passed on. And everything was attributed to the fact that they did not have access to the data. Now, the service provider, the hospital was sued, plus the service provider. They had to compensate the family huge. In fact, at the end of the day, the story was that their licenses were withdrawn. We have come to a point where we need to take the life of the ordinary Ghanaian serious. If you go into our health facilities, the delay in service being provided, I do not know if sometimes they enjoy the queuing system that is there, that the providers of these services just enjoy seeing Ghanaians there. But most of the times when you have questioned them, they attribute it to the delay of their network and their system.
I thought that was quite cured by the system.
Recently, even the health
It was
minister,
only recently
the health minister even went to a place and then we saw it. It's not being cured. We always pretend to cure some of these problems. We always pretend to cure some of these problems. That's why I'm saying that. I do not know the terms of reference because, you see, dealing with the terms of references, you would have, it would define the scope, it would define the task, and it would define the deliverables.
Yeah.
Then we would be able to match them and see whether or not that the $100 million contract was indeed worth it. Whether they are indeed meeting the terms of references that were set.
Okay.
Are we able to put or measure the current system that is being proposed?
That was just rolled out.
That was just rolled out.
Yes.
Are we able to measure the performance of that? In my view, if Ghana Health Services would be able to roll it out as they have and make it work
it will function. If it will function properly, then what? Lightwave, do they have any data that they're supposed to be collecting? Like,
no, that's what I'm saying. If they are able to make it work, and we need to sit down with Lightwave and collect the data they have of our people, then we do. And if we have to pay them off, we pay them off.
okay,
Because this should be of a national security interest to us all.
okay,
Because these are very sensitive ones.
okay.
And I said, let's put, you see, when we want to talk more technical, it might confuse us. Assuming a private man holding these sensitive data and decides that I am no longer in terms with probably the policymakers or the managers of health and decides to shut down. I was reading a paragraph that said that the other one talks about the kinds of equipment. It says the contract states HP or equivalent in specifications. And Lightwave is claiming that they supplied trusted brands. Was it their measurement of specifications, or it was a specification that was given by Health Ministry? They talked about COVID having caused the delay in implementation. And you and I know that when COVID came, issues of health delivery and health services was not part of the restrictions. So it's difficult for me to understand and agree why COVID-19 caused a delay in implementation.
Okay. Could you...
Because if under COVID-19, we're able to import and bring some vaccines and some equipment to support health delivery services, how come it delayed the implementation of this particular one?
Okay. Question that maybe when we get to Tanko, he can respond. But, Kojo, you have a few things you want to respond to.
I'm very disappointed in my brother. You see, look, when we sit and we want to do national issues, let's do national issues. Look, you rightfully said that the contract had expired in December 2024. Clearly, the minister, it would have been brought to his attention that a critical infrastructure as such has expired during transition. The minute you took office, your day one emergency is to resolve that problem. Because whether you renew the contract or you don't, whether you find a transition period for a new one to come on and you move on. 9 months down the line, my brother is using words like criminal. And from his legal jargon, he knows better. Right? You cannot call something criminal until he has gone to a competent court of a court of competent jurisdiction to now deem it criminal. You can allege that maybe there's a misappropriation or something that went on. But for us to sit on TV to say that, oh, the MPP party swim in scandal or is bathed with scandal, it's not right. You understand? One thing I have always said is that when the NDC, and they are going to have that same, Kojo Poku have always said that party and government are two different things. And he will experience it very soon. That he is a member of the party, but not, okay, he's head of GIFEC, so he's a member of government. But some people are member of the party, but not member of government. I, Kojo Poku, am a member of party. I was not a member of government. So when the MPP party, members of it, right, are there, and there are things that were done by the government, don't now put the whole of MPP in that soup. It's not fair. Because he will experience it very soon that there are people in his party that will not share the same view of things that he does that goes wrong in the government. So please, when we are discussing some of these issues, let's discuss it in that line of saying that things are criminal. If it's only criminal if he's gone to court and he's been proven otherwise, or he's been proven that it's criminal. The point I want to get across to with what my brother said was, data is the National Protection Data Act, which protects customers' data. So it's not just simple that somebody can just shut off things like that. But today, whether my brother Tanko wants to blame MPP 9 months down the line, or the Ghanaians who are watching us today need a remedy. They need a solution. What's the solution, right? You sat down for 9 months, and your only remedy and your only solution to everything, your akubam, is MPP did this, MPP did that. That's why Ghanaians voted for you. And for 1 year, you spent 1 year already.
You know the use of Akubam.
Sorry?
You know the use of Akubam.
Don't I get used to?
You know the use of Akubam.
He's not a pharmacist.
I doubt that'll be sold at the pharmacy, though. It'll be sold at a chemical store.
Yes, but you see, Akubam, you know, Akubam it used to solve everything, right?
I know, right?
It solves everything.
Yeah.
So their Akubam is that everything is MPP.
Yeah.
1 year down the line, you need to move on from that.
Yeah.
It's a song, but I never knew what it meant.
I'll still start. Yeah, I'll let him respond, and I'll still start with you. And it's easy for me to stay a little longer with the two politicians, right?
Exactly.
Because,
There's a third one. Tato is part of it.
You see?
Yeah, two about me.
please respond and let me.
You know
on
what?
the data protection,
MFA.
I would want to make a
Okay.
MFA, I'm happy my good friend Kojo is running away from the government of MPP. All of them are running away
No,
from
but he
away
was
from
not.
it.
Did he hold any position? in?
No, I did
He
not.
didn't.
Yes, he said he didn't hold. So he doesn't want us to be talking about their government because they want to run away from that government.
No, nobody's run away
Because
from
that government was one of the most terrible government we've ever seen in this
No,
country.
but blame individuals.
And I'm saying, no. Oh.
If you have individuals, blame them. But I don't think the entire government was bad.
You see,
Unfortunately, you would agree that if it cannot be that much, right?
you know, he knows it. Kojo,
When a person is appointed
saying
by a
that
government, unfortunately,
I am happy this morning. Kojo is saying that the MPP party is running away from the MPP government because what they did against Ghanaians, he doesn't want to share it. That's why he's telling Ghanaians, and I'm happy.
No, they heard
Let it
me.
put on
Thomas, what
record.
would you do in this particular contract?
Look,
What are you doing? It's
That's
not
why I'm
enough
saying
that
that.
the minister saying that they rolled out a
when
new
I
one.
use that word, you see, he knows what we call circumstantial evidence. He knows it.
What is
And he
it?
knows when the matter is very clear and everybody knows. Yes, I do know that, yes, these are matters that are yet to be prosecuted and all that. They are going to be prosecuted. You can't run away with our money. This state money. You can look, I'm happy you was talking about it. You can't hide behind COVID. That COVID thing is yet to come. You have even reminding us. A lot of matters are people will be called back from their homes. They think they are going to rest over there.
Kojo, do you sense
And they are saying
politics
that
in this?
you will have to account for it. The matter,
But
the
it's politics. What is he doing? What is not politics?
Not him.
Kojo.
Not him. The umpires between the
Are you
minister.
I'm not there. so I can
Are you
tell
happy
that
you cough out state huge sums of money, $100 million to somebody, and the person will give you this kind of chicken cheating? Are you happy?
No,
is that what you are?
I'm not happy. But the
And so
point
what
is
are you
that
talking
10
about? Let's
months down
condemn
the
it.
line,
And I'm
what
saying
has
that
the minister done first day in
That
office?
is what the minister says. They have to investigate. You don't expect us to use these few months to uncover your rot for 8 years. You destroyed this country for 8 years.
Okay.
And so we are now trying to fix it,
just a quick
reset
one.
it.
On the-
And that's what we are talking about.
On this data
Yes.
issue you were talking about.
Yes.
See, the existence of data protection does not cure the withdrawal of services, which was what I was talking about. You listen to the company. It says that these disconnections invariably causes a trigger that would log systems out until connectivity is established. He says, unfortunately, because our staff have been reassigned, does the data protection cure reassignment of staff? No. What's the
I think the umbrella decision,
So
what I think
what
is on
I'm
the table
saying-
now is
what I'm saying
whether,
is that-
whatever
It
the
was a
challenge is,
rip-off.
what are they
Everything
doing
is a
about
rip-off.
the
I'm
data?
talking
Dr. Zato is aware, all
the
of them. they know it.
data being handed.
They used it for campaign, to campaign their
Can you
MPP.
just
That was why they were
keep quiet for
ripping
me
off
to
our their
deliver?
money. They don't
Well,
want
it
us
was
to see
it was his time. I
it
took a
wasn't
few
his time.
seconds to give to you.
I know that this was a rip-off. They know it, and we are going to look to the details of it. I own him. You can't do this to Ghanaians.
How do I know?
But you want to, are you happy with it? You say you are not happy with
Let me finish with my.
I think you
Let's
made
do
the
this to
point.
Ghanaians.
I think
Their
you
own money.
made the
No,
point.
see,
Dr. Zato,
that's
take
what
a
we're
second.
talking
We need to go on to what the minority has been doing in Parliament. So,
You know what?
Dr. Zato, just a few seconds to respond to
I
this,
know.
and then I'll come to you,
Just
Kojo.
I just want to say that this morning, this champagne drinking bourgeois socialist here has come.
I'm not social. I'm a social democrat.
Socialist. Look,
Social
the point is-
democrat, correct? Social democrat.
He's not running away from the champagne drinking part. Good. Only
Yeah,
the
social
socialist
democrat.
part. Look, the point I'm making is this. Mr. Minister and Mr. Government, please, there has to be an expiry date on when you can blame all your woes and pathologies on the former government. Own the system, own the economy. When will you stand up, raise your hand, and accept that you own the economy? For Christ's sake, it's 10 months into the system. Whatever that was wrong, cancel it. Whosoever starts to prosecute the person and move on.
But is that not what they're doing now?
No, but that's not, but you said blaming. You said blaming the.
We're not blaming.
So we are going after them. You will be blaming.
In this particular case, it's a very sensitive thing. Help data of people. You come in, you sit and tell you always, oh, look at that. No, let's move on. Prosecute people if they are guilty. Refrain the system. If you are going to extend this contract, extend it. If you are not extending it, create a transition period. Let's say from this period, let's work together, government and you, to create transition so that there will not be disruptions. That is what responsible management is.
Okay. Tanko, before I even go to Kujo, so the company says that they do not have access to the reports, this forensic report that the minister has ordered. However, the minister has just been telling us that it's been forwarded to the Attorney General for advice.
Yes, why are they in a hurry? They shouldn't be in a hurry.
But wouldn't it be fair that they have a copy of it at least to know what they are being investigated for?
If you don't steal saltpeter in the market, you don't run away.
What is saltpeter?
Kanwa. If you are in the market, you don't run away. Why are they there? Why are they?
Is that why you're always running away from the market?
I'm saying that. That's what they are telling. Saltpeter, you know in the village.
You always run away from Bimbala market. Is that why you were always running away from Bimbala market?
What does that mean?
Oh, now I know why he's always running away from Bimbala market.
Please give me the quote again. If you don't steal
saltpeter in the market, you don't run.
That's why he was always running. I know. It's Bimbala market.
He knows what running. He's a village boy, so we know what I'm talking about.
Exactly. That's why you're always running.
So you see,
I've never run from Tumu market.
Okay, so you expect that the company should just be quiet and then wait for the minister to forward a report that they're going to be investigated for to the Attorney General.
Yes,
but that's the finality to it.
To come and answer questions. We are looking for, you see, it's part of the oral process.
What kind of examination is this where you haven't been given materials to know what you're going to be examining?
They have to recover the justice. I am saying that we have to recover the loot.
Okay.
Because the kind of loot that we have seen unprecedented since 1990, when we came back to democracy 90, I've never seen this type.
Okay.
And then we have to recover it. And that is what Kojo is aware. Kojo has already run away from the government.
It was a busy parliament yesterday,
yes.
Especially because of the minority.
Audit report. The company cannot tell me there was no exit conference after the forensic audit. Because when you go to audit somebody, you do a conference or a meeting before the audit starts.
Why do you choose to believe the minister and not them?
It would be difficult for any audit service provider to do a report without an exit conference.
Okay, well.
I mean, it would be difficult.
Okay.
Very fundamental.
So yesterday in Parliament, the minority says that they're seeking to halt the vetting of the new Chief Justice, the one that has been nominated. My question is, we know the nuances with this Chief Justice. We know that the removed Chief Justice has been, challenging a few things in court. Would they be right? Would they have some right to want to go on this tangent?
Well, if the nomination by the president, by law, and that's what is stipulated to be done, has been done and sent to Parliament, then it's in the hands of Parliament to apply the standing orders that they have in the vetting of the president nomination. If Parliament feels otherwise, then they have to give a justification to the president why they can't go ahead. It can be delayed through the debates and stuff like that, but I don't think that ultimately they can stop the vetting, because Parliament has to give a reason why they cannot vet the president's nomination. Or when the president nomination goes for vetting, they can use the reasons that they have to basically, because bear in mind, after the vetting, it has to come back to the plenary for a vote. If the appointee doesn't get a unanimous at the vetting. What I would tend to believe is that the minority has concerns, rightfully so, they've raised it. How the speaker and the majority side work with the minority side to address those problems is a matter of democracy, right? I think that the NDC is always grandstanding, and that's something that we've seen in all our parliament in the Fourth Republic, where the ruling party basically just whips everybody in line to do the bidding of the executives. So I think, yes, ultimately the vetting will be done, but probably delayed.
Let me stay with you. What will it cost Parliament and us as a country, or even the government, if they indeed allowed the removed Chief Justice to exhaust all of her legal battles?
Well,
what would it cost?
It's what she is doing does not stop. It can run in parallel. Now, if there is a thing where you go and seek an injunction, and one of the things that my learned friends and legal people have told me is that the only time courts are looking at injunction is that there will be a damage that is irreparable if that process goes through, right? So if the Justice Tokonu go to court and says that if you allow the current appointee to be vetted and goes through, then there is a damage that's irreparable, right? So stop, injunct the process. Until she gets an injunction, I think Parliament is right to go ahead. Like I said, minority has expressed their misgivings. They've expressed their position of law and all the things. But ultimately, it can be put to a vote, or the Speaker might rule it, might overrule. And the vetting, for me, though delayed, will definitely go ahead. If Justice Tokonu wants to stop it, she needs an injunction from a competent court to say that I'm injuncting the process, because if the process goes through, there will be an irreparable damage to her. And that's the only remedy.
But if you look at it, she's the things that she's seeking, if indeed it goes in her favor, really, that'll be an irreparable damage.
Yes, what I'm saying is that, but then the court will have to decide, are there other remedies aside going back to her job? Because maybe she can be compensated. So is there a compensation? So the court will have to look at all those things, that can she be compensated? And I think in the court's wisdom, they will decide that, look, yes, we can inject. Even if in the long run you win that you were unlawfully removed, you can be compensated and go on. But I honestly don't think that the courts are going to injunct that process. Like I said, it might be delayed, but ultimately the vetting will happen.
Uncle, what will it cost the government if you just held on a bit? And what will it cost Parliament if they indeed listen to the minority? You know that prior to Parliament going on this recess, there's one thing that the minority has been saying. It says that, well, yes, their numbers are small, but it looks like the other side do not allow them a space, do not allow them to express themselves that much. You're taking decisions arbitrarily. Now that they're seeking, or they're presenting a motion at least, to put a halt to this vetting until the Chief Justice exhausts all of her legal battles, what will it cost the government if they do?
You see, we smell a rat in this matter. Seriously. No, I know this group we are dealing with. From the onset, they took some interest in the matter. And from the onset, when the petitioners sent their petition, and it was forwarded to the Council of State, and people jumped into the fray, as if a woman organizer of their party was being held before the Council of State. What interest have they been? We've been asking them to disclose, in fact, just disclose your interest and let's move ahead. All legal process went through. Madame Tokonu has been given all her legal rights. She even went to ECOWAS court. Is that not true? She went to the Supreme Court, her own court, where she sat. They dismissed most of her matters.
Not the substantive ones.
Saying that they dismissed a lot of issues. Even when she wanted to stop the process of the committee and all that, they dismissed her. You see, they are holding the country into ransom. We are not going to allow that.
But he's acting.
The
judiciary is functioning.
The MPP group, they are holding the country into ransom.
On this particular matter, but on this particular matter, are they? Because the judiciary is functioning properly, quite well. Nothing.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. You see, 87 of them, they just a thought in in Parliament. So they will always have to make noise for Ghanaians to listen to them. Because what are they doing? What are they talking about?
Okay, let me just give you a quick update on our initial, one of the things that we're discussing, and then I'll come back to you. So, on the soldier,
exactly. They've arrested him.
Wow.
Yes.
Wait, is it your personal secretary that sent it to you? Take it from me.
I can even give you one better.
That's why
I can even give you one better. The girl she beat, her father is a major general. The girl in the shop, her father is a
Major General.
Yes. So that's the development.
I think that one is definitely going to need this Akobam you talked about. Our attacking so.
No, but I want to see.
Apparently, her daughter is a daughter of a major general.
Now we are talking. Now we have a show.
Yeah.
MFA, you remember I told you in the beginning that a lot of discussion went on last night.
Yes.
Okay, we'll give you the credit.
Our government is up to the tax. We want to protect Ghanaians. And you always give NDC government credit.
Please, credit. Thank you for the first credit the institutions.
That is why I'm saying that
Credit, then you would amplify it to government. First of all, no, you see, gentlemen who are recruited to work.
I mean, let me land and you talk and we'll come to that. Let me tell you.
So credit them first.
Those institutions existed. Do you know what? Those institutions existed for 8 years. You saw how reckless this country was being run. It takes leadership to get the institutions to work.
So Tanko, has he been arrested?
Leadership took decisions.
Tanko, has he been arrested?
Oh yes, he's and then you see all this evidence. I couldn't have disclosed things because I don't have that power to do that. But I'm saying that all this information I had that information.
Kojo, who is not a member of government.
Because this one is public now.
This one's a political
because that thing is now public.
That's why
It's on Facebook.
I showed it to you.
It's on Facebook.
I said that one is public.
How is it that the non-certain government people have the information? You are withholding
It's not public. It's on Facebook. When they say that, it should be public.
I showed it.
Me, I saw it on Facebook just now.
But I
It's on
told you
Facebook.
that actions will be taken, didn't I?
Okay.
Yes. But you know what?
Okay, let's
face
go
it.
back.
I'm back to my issue.
Yes.
Don't let me run away from these people. We must face them.
Election is over. You have won. 10 months
His
down the
cameras
line.
activated.
You are
So talk.
still
He has
doing
activated his
campaign.
cameras.
You are still doing campaign.
No, I'm coming. Kojo.
Is that the camera you activated?
Kojo and Zato. Baumia people. Let's face it.
Is that where we've got into?
No, but it's a fact.
Is that where we've got
So
into?
then allow your gold watch to do.
They say, let them know. Baumia,
Dr. Zato, no. I won't allow you to do that to my guests.
They are doing injustice to
He's my big brother, don't worry, he understands.
to Canada, Japan. He should have been here. These people are not here. You see, learned judge Bafo Boni will be vetted. I'm happy Kojo said it. Nobody is going to stampede the process. We must respect the president's choice, allow the process to go through, go and sit at the vetting committee. If you have questions, concerns, raise it over there.
No, so my question is that, what does it cost?
It costs a lot.
You know, because of the nature of our laws,
Yes.
if you seek an injunction on a particular matter, it is because you're waiting for a hearing on the substantive matter. Correct me if I'm wrong. For this particular Chief Justice, most of all of her substantive issues have not even been heard. Now, yes, there's finality. If you look at the committee report and the recommendation to the president, he has indeed acted on the committee's report. But my question really is that for this particular one that the minority is asking, the minority, though 87, that is 87 constituency. That's quite a good number of people in the country asking that, put a halt on it. To the vetting, they're not saying that the president shouldn't nominate or anything. Give us time because of the pending legal matters.
I'm happy
How much does it cost?
No, Kojo explained that aspect of injunction.
Yes, he has. I want to hear you.
I share his position on that.
Okay.
Very clear. Of what damage is she going to cause on her? That's why the courts refused to injunct any process. It's not when she wanted to injunct the committee and all that. On what basis? Because of your parochial interest, the whole country should come to a grind halt. No, we're not going to do that. In any case, when we are even talking of their 87, I have a problem with their 87 numbers. That 87 is not even correct.
How?
Because we have problems. You do know that there are some challenges against some seats. It's just that it's slow. It doesn't mean that they are still comfortable with it.
Remind me again, which one?
Oh, we're still chasing them with Ablekuma Centra, Tema East and all this. Those constituencies, think we have the matter. We will resurrect the matter if they continue making.
But until then, they are members of parliament. Have
yeah, they are. But, but
I don't think the minority leader will be happy with
this. We can
comment.
come in at any point in time.
Okay.
The matter is still in court. It has not been thrown out yet. So they should hold their horses on that. But let's face it. Let's allow the process. He's a fine gentleman. Bafo Boni is a learned person. and he is ready to do the job of a Chief Justice. He's acting correctly. So I don't see the interest of minority in this matter. In any case, if we are going to measure them with the same standard they are holding on these people, I don't want to go. But if we are going back to them, then they will come back. The thing they did for 8 years,
okay, Dr.
legally,
Zato.
Everything of them terribly bad. And I'm saying that we just allow this
Dr. Zato.
to go on. He knows that.
You see, my brother is like a driver who is constantly just looking at the rearview mirror. He cannot look for where to go. You know what happened to you? Accident.
Reverend, if you don't see the driver behind you, you go and do it and hit somebody. What will you do?
There's something that is happening that I think, once we're in Parliament, I'm happy. Look, these things, I always had the belief that Parliament was the master of its own businesses. So I don't think that this legal process will stop Parliament. I honestly don't think so. I think they're going to go ahead and I think they're going to vet the nominee and I think it's going to go through. I don't think the court will do that. But once we are still in Parliament, there's something else that is in Parliament that is important for us to talk about. There was a kerfuffle, a clash between the Speaker of Parliament and the majority leader over the LGBTQ as to what is current status. Fortunately, the Speaker of Parliament ruled, and the Speaker agreed 100% with the President of the Republic, who also said that he believed that that thing had died with the last Parliament. But the President did not stop there. The President went ahead and promised this country that he will introduce a public sector anti-LGBTQ. In other words, the Attorney General will deliver that bill. Mr. President, Your Excellency, please keep your word. We don't want a private, because a private member's bill, the way I've read it and I've tried to understand it, they've said a simple challenge. If you put somebody in prison, a simple challenge to it means striking down because of this. So what I'm saying is that I'm praying.
What's the point of order?
So I'm hoping that the President of the Republic.
What's the point of
order?
I'll come to you.
What's the point of order? I'm going to order. Let me raise point of order.
You know,
but let me
what is point? I never knew raise point. Can we raise that? Can we raise point of order?
You can.
Yes.
You can.
Raise.
We are talking of the vetting of.
And you are not the host. You are not the host. You don't.
That's why the panel. The host. That's why I say we should discuss.
You are not the host.
You don't of LGBT.
You cannot
do
that.
He has his time.
You're out of order.
I'm still in Parliament. We are in Parliament.
He
didn't say we should choose anything in Parliament. He said we should talk of Bafo-Bonny, vetting and all that. You are talking of LGBT. You're out of order. She might be called to order. That's a fact.
He has his time. He has his time.
So he decided to choose. So you should have given me that leverage to choose which I wanted to.
Thank you for your point of order. Noted.
So go back.
He's a political scientist. He decides to want to put some science to what's happening in Parliament.
This morning I agree with the President and I agree with the Speaker of Parliament. The Speaker of Parliament is one of the biggest champions of...
Is this to suggest you don't want to talk about the
I'll rope it in. So please, let's get the government-sponsored bill, not a minority bill, and then give it to that as the biggest Christmas gift. Every Christian in this country, 24th night and December, will say, hallelujah, God bless you, Mr. President, if you give us this bill and sign it to law. Thank you, Mr. President. We are looking out for that bill. Thank you. Coming back, look, Bafo-Bonny will be vetted. He will be sworn in. He will become the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana, and there's nothing anybody can do at that. But once that is done, my fear, as I've said, is this. It seems that right now, any government of Ghana coming in will bring along their own Chief Justice.
How do you arrive at this conclusion?
I arrived at this because I'm saying that the precedent's being set in firing this Chief Justice and bringing a new one will not be kept, nobody will forget it. No, in fact, the grassroots of the NDC love this so much, and the grassroots of the NPP hate it so much so that any new president who comes in and doesn't go by this, your own grassroots will chase you out of the Jubilee.
But you saw the process. The process was sort of walking the path, though.
It's not supposed to be. In fact, on the contrary, I thought that it would have been impossible to remove a Chief Justice. But the process has told me that it is so easy, so simple to do that. You can just do it, like that, and go on. It is the simplest and the easiest thing to do. So that's rather, in fact, on the contrary, that's what I thought that to remove a co-equal arm of government. A co-equal arm of government. There are three arms of government. That's what we teach students: the judiciary, the executive, and the legislature. That to remove a co-equal arm of government, if you tell me that this is easy and can be done on such, like almost like a food delivery menu system, I would have said no. But we have shown that it can be done. We've shown that where there is the political will.
What's the problem? Is it the government or the provision in the Constitution?
I'm not saying this. I'm saying that we've not shown that it can be done.
Who are the we? Who are the we? Government? Because we had a constitution and we have a government.
Yes.
Who are you blaming? The provision?
I'm not blaming anybody. I'm actually not blaming. I'm just saying that I've having watched the whole thing happen. I now know that it's very easy to remove a Chief Justice. That's what I'm saying. Having watched the process from the first day the petition was submitted to when it was done.
Give me a minute.
It is now very simple.
It's easy?
It is.
Do you think it's easy?
Look, the precedent has been set. the process have been done.
The path has been beaten.
The president is there. Everybody that wants to do it.
We just copycat and paste.
Look at the orchestration. If you look at the orchestration, government, we shouldn't set certain things in motion to let people think that it's possible to do.
Quickly, let me interject. As you said, the day former EC chair Charlotte was removed was the day this president was set. The day she was removed, the day that it was set. And now you're going to see...
who said the president? Or is it not your
I agree.
So why are you talking about this?
But I just agree.
But he's talking holistic.
I'm just talking holistically.
He's talking holistic. Don't put it as if this government has set a...
No. This government has set a precedent. Yes, I've said that.
What have we done?
You have removed a co-equal arm of government. That's never been done in this under this public.
It started under MPP.
Hey, Charlotte was not a co-equal arm of government.
No, this woman, the learned Chief Justice, former Chief Justice. Do you know that
she was not removed by remove a co-equal arm of government is the first time under this constitution.
I am saying the process
Charlotte was not a co-equal arm of government. No.
What's the problem with the first time or that?
Good.
It's not the first time. Nana Akufo don't receive a petition against.
And now this president has not made it that it will not be a menu to order. Any new president coming inside will just quickly order it. Oh, remove the Chief Justice and remove the... It will happen.
No,
that's the point I'm saying.
Do I hear you in one breath not happy when Tanko Rashid goes back to the past? But I hear you in another breath envisioning that it can happen when a new government...
He was going to the past, I'm going to the future.
So you're already thinking of the future?
Yes.
So you want Ghanaians to go to come and you start moving people? Is that what you are looking for?
Okay, Nanayo, let's get...
So you see how they are. Everyone is watching you.
I'm a Catholic. We're going to Advent. Advent means hope.
Let's get
Blessings, the coming of the Lord.
I was very quiet when you were speaking.
Nana, it's not true. You know how to interfere. I will interject you
You see, number one, Article 146 was not established by any president. It's in the Constitution. And I stated before that I was excited when Article 146 traveled the whole hall, or the end of it, and so that we are able to identify the loopholes. And if, together as a country, we decide to amend Article 146, then we do. I am excited that the former Chief Justice is putting Ghana through this legal battle so that we settle it once and for all. Emifa, when you read the motion or the petition that was filed by the minority, you will notice that they quoted some articles from the 1992 Constitution. I do not know if they actually quoted it considering it in its holistic nature. But one of which they quoted was Article 125. And if you read the clause 3, it says that the judicial power of Ghana shall be vested in the judiciary. Accordingly, neither the president nor the parliament nor any organ or agency of president or parliament shall have or be given final judicial power. The fourth says that the Chief Justice shall, subject to this constitution, be the head of the judiciary and shall be responsible for the 1, administration, and 2, supervision of the judiciary. And it means that, in my view, the judiciary cannot be halted. It has to go on. The judiciary does not end in the office of the Chief Justice. They are in charge of its administration, and the person, the Chief Justice, is the supervisor. That office would have to run. The litigation she's putting us through will not end any soon. And we cannot hold judicial services and activities and administration because somebody is refusing to admit the fact that she has to go home. The two can travel together. If there is a need for us to come back and deal with the matter when the litigation ends and the final judgment is given, why not? We will. But until then, we should have a Chief Justice, and judicial administration and supervision would have to go on. Imagine us not having a president. Zato was talking about 3 arms of government. You were talking about the executive, legislature, and you're talking about the judiciary. And when in your explanation you forgot to tell the Parliament of Ghana, that is a minority, that they do not have the powers to halt work of the judiciary. But if you read the petition they have sent to the office of the Speaker of Parliament, the items...
Actually, Parliament can halt the work of the judiciary.
What
It's not
has
brofo.
been...
You said I didn't say
labeled.
that, but I'm saying they can do. Parliament has the power to do that. They can simply refuse not to give them money.
The Parliament does not give them money.
Parliament has the power of the purse. They can decide not to approve money to them.
They can decide not to approve their...
Yes, so that's not giving them
and
money.
the executive not. And that is why some of us see that there is not absolute...
No, you said I've not said that.
I've said on countless times that there is no absolute separation of powers.
They are.
Okay, scratch my back as well. But what I'm trying to establish is that if you look at the items that have been labeled by the...
Actually, Parliament can also refuse to vet them and not put it to work, so they can stop their work.
Majority, they can't stop them.
No, they can decide not to. No, you're talking about Parliament. Parliament can decide. You said I should
I mean,
you asked me.
He's raising some...
Yes,
some
Parliament can decide to stop their work by not approving their budget. Parliament can decide that any justice that can will not vet you and prove you and cripple them. Parliament can do that.
Let's not pretend that the Parliament we have today has always been like this.
What I'm saying is that some of us belong to the school of thought that there is no absolute separation of powers. If Parliament approves and executives decide not to pay, what happens? And
They will help. You cannot decide not to pay because if it's law, the law says pay this and you don't pay, you cannot say there's no money.
That's not law. That's
the law.
That's not law.
That's the law.
Okay.
That's the law.
Let me
Parliament
Two of them are basically saying the same.
Parliament will hold you before.
He's saying that this thing has been done. What my brother is saying is that in the belief that he is saying that there are three separation of power. In practice, there isn't a separation.
Exactly.
That's what he's saying. Yes, we are thought in school.
There's separation. In practice, they work together for the republic.
Yes,
they work together for the state.
Yes, but
they are supposed to enable each other. But they are separate. They are separate.
I think the statement, what my brother Danaya is trying to say is that we are taught that there are three separation of power, as if that they run independently. But what he's saying is that in practice,
it does not exist.
It doesn't exist.
But even the Constitution says that one has an oversight role.
So that's the point.
And I'm trying to say that we cannot halt the constitutional mandate of the Chief Justice. The office cannot come to a halt. It can't come to a standstill. They have a constitutional obligation. And Parliament cannot halt the constitutional obligation.
And so basically, the minority won't get what they're asking for.
Absolutely. They don't have to get it.
Okay. I have just 4 minutes, and I want to spend it on the fuel pricing, the fuel price that will be...
the anticipated reduction.
The anticipated reduction. And Kojo, and especially because you are here. So November 1, the Chamber of Oil Marketing Association say that, well, we're seeing some projections. We'll see it at the pump. Politics or good economic rebound?
When you have a currency that is doing a donko seesaw, one day it's at 12, the other day it comes to 10.5, the other day it goes to 13, then it comes back. It's the first time that we have seen that the secondary market, which is the black market, is like 2 cities away from what the Bank of Ghana is. Normally, it's within 1 city. It has never been the case where Bank of Ghana is doing the semantics they are doing to forcefully keep the dollar at a certain price, when in reality, we know that they are using a lot of resources to do that. That is what's accounting for this window, having the 5% reduction in PMS, which is gasoline, and I think 8% reduction in diesel. But it's temporarily. International prices, we are going into the winter, means that the margins on the international prices are much higher. If the government is able to keep the price where it is, then relatively we would basically have a no reduction in the subsequent windows or a reduction in the subsequent windows. But for me, the cost of what the Bank of Ghana and the Ministry of Finance is incurring, the cost, because already bear in mind we have $21 billion hole in the budget because of this currency situation of budgeting at a certain FX to cedi and reducing it to a certain amount. And government is also a customer who has exports that they receive money in dollars and they have to bring it into cedis to pay their obligations. And as a result, the Treasury, which is the Ministry of Finance, has a whole of 21 billion. The receivables from the ports, okay, bear in mind, it's a reflection of the FX because you have to basically peg the goods imported to charge your taxes per the FX value. And since the FX value has been made low, it's also affecting the GRA receivables at the port. So they've not been able to meet the targets that they had to do. So yes, we are seeing a reduction in the pump from 1st of November as a result of the forceful, for me, I want to use the word forceful reduction of a currency to a certain price when we know that the realistic price of that currency is around 12.4, 12.5.
Okay, I was asking really because if you look at it, most of the projections that they've said, especially in conversations around the cedi, will be that usually the last quarter of the year, the cedi has a lot of pressure because of a lot of importation. And so I was quite fascinated when I saw that.
Okay, you see, that thing is a bit adage, it's old, because you know now our payments, we have a budget surplus.
Okay.
We no longer have a budget deficit.
Okay.
So what it means is that in value terms, we export more than we import. So when we have that end of year traders looking for a lot of money to import, the Bank of Ghana has enough reserves to import these, to give to the exporters.
Okay.
The problem that exists is that what the Bank of Ghana is saying and forcing people to do and the reality in the banks and on the ground are two different things. But look, at the end of the day, in Chi, we say that in the meaning that in the long term, we will see what the impact will be because the traders who needs the money to import, if they can get it from the bank, then yes, they will get the Bank of Ghana rate. But if they can't get the dollar and it's 10.8 or 10.4, it's immaterial because he has to go to Abuchi to get the dollar and it's 12.5. So the reality on the ground is that though we are purporting that it's 10.8, in reality, when it's 6 o'clock, there's hunger.
Okay. Uncle.
When you vote for a good party in government, you enjoy the fruit of your labor. I told you, Abampapaba. Ghanaians are enjoying their fruit of their labor. The labor they put in voting for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. He has put in, look, go to Bank of Ghana, a Minister of Finance. The collaboration is fantastic. If you look at the monetary aspect and the physical aspect, the collaboration is the results we are seeing. This is what we didn't get for 8 years. And we're suffering. Everybody was suffering. People died. People died. Grandfathers, grandmothers. One of your grandfathers was also part of the demonstrators. Went to finance ministry, demonstrate for their money. It's not true. If everyone, I mentioned their names. They were there. Have you ever seen that thing before? So don't pray for gloom for the economy because we have people who understand this thing and they are doing it. We just celebrated the 60 year of
the city at 60.
60 years. Now look at the performance of the city. This tells you that people are doing something that we should begin to ask critical questions. So these people who are manning our economy for 8 years, were they sleeping on the job or what? Because within the shortest possible time, look at the inflows. And to the extent, now we are even going to get Christmas bonus. Can't you see? Zato is now going to fill his tank, all of them. That's why he didn't buy fuel because he's waiting for the November 1st. They are waiting for the November 1st reduction. They're going to fill their tank. They are all enjoying it. See, that is what good governance is. It's all about to better the loss of your people. And I'm saying that.
How long can you keep this? How long can you keep this?
It will continue. They said we couldn't keep the dollar to the cedi. Now we brought it back. We knew what we were doing. We have single-digit inflation now. Okay. That is not credit to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. You don't have a vice president who is doing lectures all over the place
We have an anonymous vice
Well,
a completely anonymous vice president.
We'll hold on to Kojo's adage.
No, injunction. Let me also injunct him. I want to injunct him. Injunct me. I want to injunct him. It's okay. It's okay. Look, the point, this is the thing.
Okay, make the point.
The government of Ghana had made a purposive policy.
What purposive policy?
That they will intervene in the forex market to keep the dollar at a certain rate. That's a fact.
Where is it? Who told you that?
The Bank of Ghana told me that the IMF has said that.
No, I am saying that.
Even the president has said that. The president said that he's trying to look for a desirable place where the dollar can be. The IMF has said that the Bank of Ghana has said that they pumped in over about almost $1 billion to do that. I have no problem with that.
So who pumped in $1 billion? Who told you? Where did you get the information?
So it's a government.
The amount you're quoting, though the IMF indicated that there was some pumping, the amount you're quoting is not quite accurate.
Okay, so there was pumping.
So where do you get
that pumping? Okay, good. So there was pumping. Now, the point is that now here's the case. So I have no problem with the government of Ghana making a purposive policy to intervene in the market to keep the dollar where it is. You're spending a lot of money now. I am a liberal conservative, center-right. I wouldn't have done that. I would let the forces of demand and supply deal with where the rate should be. But these are social democrats. And I think that's how you should have argued that based on your ideology and philosophy, you don't trust or have full belief.
But is that not public knowledge that a political party will take decisions based on their ideology?
Of course. And then
they won't have to re-announce it.
You would think so.
Okay.
Anyway,
and that's what we are doing.
It's a good thing they are doing. And so that is what they are doing. And that is how we are seeing this thing. The question I'm still being asked is this sustainable? Right now, cocoa prices are at record high. Gold prices are record high. So there's enough.
Cocoa is at record low.
Record low.
Low.
Oh, thank you for that.
Cocoa is low.
Gold is record high. So what happens is that now the government has enough reserves to be able to sustain it. The question we should be asking then is about the sustainability.
So you're sharing in Kojo's adage.
If gold prices fall,
okay,
government continue this.
Okay.
But for me, once it's a government policy, I respect that.
Nanayo, please wrap the conversation.
I would want to applaud Dr. Johnson Kwesi Asiama, the Bank of Ghana governor.
Who's you now?
Fantastic, man.
For doing a good job.
Not printing new currencies to shore up the economy.
He's printed $4 billion.
Oh, please, can I have my time and
allow
my
him
submission?
It's no me, it's the two of them.
So
they're always looking at me as the
Baumia people.
As I was saying, you see, when you have a leader who is able to propose very good policies and ensure its implementation, then you would see a marching forward. There have been accusations that there have been pumpings of monies and whatsoever. Yesterday, I drew a scenario. I said in every economy, we have what we call the first aid. Just like you fall ill in the house, you are given a first aid before the ambulance arrives. Then they take it up from there, then they take you to the hospital. So we would have the short term, we would have the medium term, and we would have the long term policy implementation. If pumping the money in and other short term policies would help deal with the problem we are facing, whilst we put in measures to build the medium-term and shock absorbers to hold us into stability. And then we are able to look for solutions that will shoot us into the long-term, what we call the growth and prosperity of our economy. Then we are doing something right. See, as it stands, we're almost in November. But I do not think that it is so much common in Ghana that in the month of November, October, November, you would find the forex, the rate, coming down. It is always on the rocket high. It means something is being done right. Whilst that thing is going on and helping us also rein down our inflation, what we should be projecting now is for us to be able to educate our traders that what is happening should reflect in our markets. I am happy that the aspects where government have some little control, like the fuel areas and other things, they are trying to pull some strings to keep them in line. The others where we do not have control, we should do more of public education to make them understand that indeed what we are doing, there are other measures to make it sustainable.
Well, okay.
I think, Doug,
time is already up.
Could you emphasize the fact that we are doing more of export? And so there is some.
He draws some inferences in both the export and imports. Maybe another time when you come.
Pushing in this value addition onto our raw materials, these are all medium and long-term solutions. But until then, something good is happening.
Well, gentlemen, thank you for joining us on News Review today. I hope to have all of you again because we had other things. We have other things to talk
it's
about.
not reflecting in our pockets. When you go to the shop, you go to the market, things are still expensive.
Right. Kojo was so calm until we wanted to finish the But thank you, gentlemen, for joining. We're joined by Dr. Joshua Zato, political scientist. Nana Osapon is Deputy General Secretary, United Party. Kojo Poku is Executive Director, Institute for Energy Security, and member of the MP Communications team as well. And Rashid Tanko Computer, Chief Executive Officer, GFEC, and Deputy Director of Elections for the NDC. Gentlemen, thank you. There's so much on the show. Please stay.